Hey, how's it going? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about the extensions and tools that I use in my Merch by Amazon business very frequently or every day. There's a bunch of tools here, so I'm going to try to go through them quickly. Bear with me, you can pause, rewind, and all that stuff, and I have a list of them here to refer to. So the first one is, and just by the way, don't get overwhelmed, they're just small ones. So cat shirts. I'm writing Orca because that kind of pulls out just the merch shirts. Here, that's what DS Amazon Quick View does. Really nicely lays out the BSR in front of your face as you scroll through results and gives you a nice bird's eye view about how well a niche is performing and how well a particular shirt is performing. Invaluable, and I just think it's critical because it means you don't have to click into a shirt to discover down here what it is, which would be pretty tedious. But this is another one right under it called Twf By Box, and it basically is for me who doesn't want to scroll down. It just pulls it up right there. So I'm looking at this. Oh, what's the BSR? Okay, cool. I just want to see Keepa in action because I want you to see that. Come on, Keepa, work it. Nice. So basically, all it's doing is showing you a history of the sales rank across time, so you can see certain trends. For example, if you click on this guy, if I recall, quite recently it was just going crazy. Oh man, that's just not true. Just like 5 minutes ago I was looking at it. Basically, it had a BSR of, and this brings me to the next tool somewhere. Where is it? Jungle Scout Estimator. You can basically pull in BSRs and plug it into this estimator where it tells you how many sales per month that's doing. And I remember, and I saw it, this was doing about 250, which is absolutely crazy because that's how many per month it was doing. And then you do 6, 6, 3, 8, 9 divided by 30. I was doing roughly 200 shirts a day in sales, just this one shirt alone, which is pretty nutty. That's like $1,000 a day. Great times. What's next? Merch Informer. You're all familiar with this, but this is something that I use all the time, every day. Very good, very useful. Gives you a nice bird's eye view of, most importantly, Shane Dawson, #1 for life. But I think realistically, it's fun to look at the 100K and above because it gives you a good sense of the evergreen niches that are selling. Earth Day, State Troopers, cats, birthday shirts, and so on. But a word of advice is don't rely purely on Merch Informer because there's a lot of underserved markets outside of merch that there are no merch shirts for yet. So as this aggregates mainly merch data, you just won't find a lot of the hidden jewels here. Of course, you can find a lot of amazing stuff here, and I use it all the time. It also gives you great stuff like tracking similar to what Keepa does, the BSR sales history. Photoshop. All right, well, my design platform of choice is Photoshop, and it is amazing because let me just show you how quick it is to just do something so quick. Wash your hands, kids. Bam. Throw that on a shirt for nurses, and you're good to go. Amazing stuff. Thank you, Photoshop. A lot of people use Illustrator. A lot of people use phone apps now, like Over or WordSwag. So this is really up to you. Pretty Merch is basically like a glorified merch dashboard behind your account. It's always good times. Trademarkia. If you don't know if you can use a phrase, you just type it into Trademarkia and it'll tell you. And sometimes you'll get a bit overwhelmed. Wow, 10 columns of this stuff. So you can go to TM Hunt, but I don't always use this. And it kind of pulls just the clothing related stuff. So yeah, steer clear of this. Amazon Autosuggest, a very underappreciated, but probably one of the most valuable ways or tools that I use is this. Bam. Look at all these rich keywords that Amazon is spitting back out of me because all of these are relevant to making sales. So these are purchase-driven keywords. When people search for that, they make a purchase. That's why Amazon is recommending these. So I would suggest putting these in your listings. And now in line with that, Keywords Everywhere is a tool which pulls up these, see these numbers right there? 18,000, 1,600 per month, 1,000 per month. This is basically Google traffic for the same keyword, which often there's like a pretty strong correlation between. So I use that to kind of determine which I want to keep. If it has a particularly high search volume, I might want to put that in my listing relative to others. Jungle Scout, Unicorn Smasher. Jungle Scout is paid. Unicorn Smasher is a free version, as far as I'm aware. So basically what Jungle Scout can do, it pulls all this data from the front page and it aggregates it. And it's kind of a nice way to think about getting into trends and stuff. I mean, the same thing happens with Unicorn Smasher. I just don't have it on me because I stick with Jungle Scout because I have this from a few years ago. So it'll tell you the average sales rank of all the 48 shirts on the page. This is actually super high. If the average shirt is this, yeah, it's definitely pretty great. So I use this for thinking about getting into trends and niches. So estimator I mentioned. Merch Lister Pro is kind of just like for the higher tiers. I'm in tier 10,000, so it gets a bit intense when you're trying to, you know, hit your 500 daily uploads, and I wouldn't be able to do it without Merch Lister Pro, which basically like you can set profiles beforehand, bullet 1, bullet 2, and then when it's time to enter all this into your listing, you just have different letters that you link to it. And so say if I just press D, it'll automatically fill in all this for me. So Merch Lister Pro is invaluable. Whew. So that's kind of like, there's a lot more that I probably have missed, so you can let me know. But for now, those are kind of the main ones off the top of my head that I use. So hopefully you picked a couple nuggets from there, and thank you very much for watching.